Yeah, so you know what I love about Vistage is that it's an opportunity to really be vulnerable. I mean, this is probably the only place in our life where we can be vulnerable. We can talk about acquisition problems or employee problems or life problems and actually lay it on the line and say, hey, I need a solution.
Vistage gives me an opportunity to speak to like-minded individuals with similar positions that I have. We can share issues and solutions that I normally wouldn't get from any other source. You can't get it from a book. You can't get it from YouTube. It's really good to be able to bounce some serious issues that you may have in a company with people that have gone through the same thing without having to reinvent the wheel.
As a CEO, I was looking at where I needed help. I can't do the whole business by myself. So I was looking outside of our business, and being closer with more CEOs I knew was going to give me some sort of competitive advantage.
I don't think about Vistage in terms of money. I just think of it as terms of growth and learning and little ways and big ways to make our company better. And every year, at the end of the year, I kind of look back and think about what I learned and what we've implemented and how things have shifted a little bit internally as a result of Vistage. And I check the box every year. Absolutely, it's worth every penny of it.
More minds are better than one mind as far as doing the right thing and understanding the challenges of business in today's world.
I went to the all-city meetings, and they invited me to join one of the groups. They thought it would be an interesting experiment having a lawyer who's CEO of his company being in a group of non-lawyers. And I tell you, at the time, I thought, well, this is an opportunity to get more business. And of course, that changed, because once I got into Vistage, I realized I've learned quite a bit, and I'm really getting educated to be a manager, which is not something I did in law school. Law school taught you to be a lawyer, it didn't teach you how to run a company.
When I joined Vistage, our revenue was about $25 million. We're at about $60 million now, and I have another partnership that does about $45 million. I don't think that I would be in this place without Vistage and the contribution from the other CEOs in our group.
My job is to keep my members safe so they can open up and take feedback from others. We hold our members accountable. At one meeting, they'll talk about an issue or an opportunity. The next meeting, we follow up. Members love that. They don't get it anywhere else.
One of the advantages to a Vistage group versus many other kinds of peer-to-peer groups is you're in a room full of people who don't compete with you. So I'm in technology. There aren't going to be any other technology companies in the room, which means that I can feel free to share my information, whether it's financial, the phrase open the kimono is one that you'll hear. And that's important because you need to have that level of trust. You need to have that ability, as Derek calls it, to be vulnerable, to be able to admit, your shortcomings as well as all the positive things that are happening, because that's the only way you're going to get help.
We can all make time for what we want to do. If there's an opportunity to play golf sometimes or do something that's more leisure related, we seem to find time for it. But to me, this is not, how much time do you have? But are you willing to make an investment for your company that will have some dividends? And I feel that Vistage is something that you invest in. It's worth the investment.
It's definitely worth the time and money to me. Every time that I come to a meeting, I get something out of it. I leave feeling much better than when I got there.
One of the most important things that I look at in candidates and with our members, where do they want to go? So if we were in an elevator and you said, okay, Derek, what do you do? My answer is, I hope my members get what they want. My focus is what they want. And the group, myself, the chairs, and a community, a fraternity of 20,000 other like-minded business owners are there as a sounding board to help us get where we want to go.
My business increased 22% last year from the year before. So this year will be 24% more. on my projections from last year.
I think the monthly meetings are critical because it's not just about the speakers, it's also the building the relationships among our Vistage group. So I think that seeing everybody on a monthly basis, one, we're seeing the same people, so we're building relationships, we're keeping in touch, but also talking about issues together, and I think that's been real valuable.
Like anything else, when you're involved in group meetings, you pick up maybe 10% and retain 10, 20% of what you learn. You only do it once a year, you're not going to learn a lot. You do it once a month, huge difference. And you create interpersonal relationships with all of the CEOs, which also benefits. And you end up with more friends and more connections in life.
In my first couple of years, we had a lot of growth, and a lot of that we directly attributed to some culture changes and some operation changes that were made directly from Vistage companies that were members, and from speakers that were very influential and correct.
I guess one of the driving issues to get into Vistage is the speakers, or world-class speakers. You're in a group of maybe 12 people total. So you get one-on-one seminar with a world-class speaker that if you went to a seminar, which you could always go to a seminar, but you're in with 50, 60, 200, 300, 500 people, you're not going to be able to do a Q&A. I mean, we're talking 12 people around a table for a few hours on the same topic you're going to go get. You just can't get that.
There's outside people that do care about you, but you're not going to get that feedback internally. So you need to go to an outside source, and Vistage is that team that can do that. They can bring that outside resource to you to give you that feedback you need so you can really see what's going on within your business.
If I equated the advice that I got from my Vistage experience in dollars, there's just no comparison. My membership fees are inconsequential compared to the benefits that I've received.
My return on the investment has been 100-fold based on what I have learned in this group and what I've applied in my firm.
Just today, another member and I looked at each other and said, there it is right there in one shot. That one nugget is going to pay for the entire year.
I don't think my business would be where it's at right now if it wasn't for Vistage. We definitely would not have that structure. I would not have been able to do what I did in such a rapid time without Vistage. I would have had to figure all this stuff out by trial and error.
If you're on the fence, it's something that doesn't take a whole lot of commitment, right? It's 12 days a year. And if you can't find that kind of time, I would suggest that you've got other issues at your company that would need looking at. It's been a very powerful, very positive experience.
Our group provides a safe environment where no one stands to gain anything from you, and everyone's desire is to help you.
Anybody that's been in our group as a guest, I mean, you guys laugh all the time. We are dead serious. We're also dead serious about making it fun. Otherwise, it's just a long day, and we have a lot of stuff to do and a lot of responsibilities, and it's nice to come into a group of people that understand the very same questions we're asking ourselves. They understand the pains and the concerns, the highs, the lows, the joys, whatever it might be. Nobody understands other than people that sit in the same chair. That's a really important thing when you have a group of people that know exactly what it's like to be you. That's what's most important.
It's lonely at the top. Vistage is a solution. And Vistage is for those that are willing to take some chances to be better.
Dream bigger, be better. And that's what Vistage is about. It's a brain trust surrounding you, making you better, making you stronger. And by the way, I get nothing for saying this. I'm a speaker, right? I just see the power of Vistage on a regular basis as I travel around the country, around the world. There's a reason why there are 1,000+ groups, over 150 just in California. It's because there's power in peers, everyone. When you surround yourself with good people, great things are going to happen. I am convinced that you are only as good as the people you surround yourself with.